What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge, Surgeaholics. It's Saturday night, the night before Easter. Silent Saturday is what it's called. I think the official name, but we know it wasn't really silent because of what's really happening tomorrow. Sunday's a coming. Thanks for being here tonight, Sooner fans, and lots to talk about. Big win for the Sooner softball team today, closing out the series by sweeping the Kansas Jayhawks, a team that many people thought might be a threat. Is OSU a bigger threat than Texas? Damon asked. There is not a threat to this team. There's no such thing, Damon. There is no threat.
But is OSU a bigger? OSU took 2 out of 3 and almost took all 3.
Texas. Jay is an ant a bigger threat than a gnat? No, it doesn't matter. There's no threat.
Not the way OU's playing right now. Offensively, they're just destroying people. And pitching's been good. Today, down the stretch, Monticelli got in a little trouble, but another good outing by Kirsten Deal. Only allowed 1 hit before she was pulled early.
Hey, Ron, you're speaking in the first person here? Sorry, the third person.
He was correct.
He's third person. What did Ron Brown say about no? You said there wouldn't be one, and you're correct.
That's right. Hey,
yep, another sweep by the opposing team on the baseball side of things.
Yeah, Lamar took it to OU this weekend. Not even close, some of the games. Hey, Gray God mentioned it earlier. Is there anybody going to stay within 10 points of UConn men's basketball?
They're not winning it all, Jay.
Looking at who's left, who's going to
They're not winning it all, Jason.
Who's going to stay within 10 points of them, Jer?
They're not winning it all, Jason.
I'm asking you a question. You just need to answer. Who's going to stay within?
I don't know, but they're not winning it all. It's too hard to do. So they're going to get cold. Something's going to happen. I don't think they win it all. Yes, you're right, Hunter. You're right, Hunter. They didn't get swept before. Sorry.
Who's beating them? Purdue?
Yeah, Purdue is maybe one I would take. Zach Edey.
That's
better than advertised.
That's the game I want to see is Purdue and UConn. But let me say this, too. I think Danny Hurley is different.
I'm not a fan of him, but I agree. He's a great
You may not be a fan, but look after halftime. They come out 30-0. I mean, he is, and I do, too. I think Tennessee's winning tomorrow, and Connect's going to win. Now, could Tennessee make a run? Could Tennessee and UConn be in the final game? They could be.
Rick Barnes would get totally destroyed. Rick Barnes would. Mars Jam 2 says, I don't worry about the baseball team. They'll get hot at the right time. That is what needs to happen. Get hot at the right time. Go back to Chuck. Chuck, you're talking about getting cocky? As a fan, I can be cocky. I don't think Gasso will let them get cocky. But as a fan, I'm going to be as cocky as I'll get out because no team's touching them. Period.
Well, let's say this. There's a team that you might lose a game. I don't see how this team's going to lose 2 out of 3 in any type of series or in a tournament. I mean, I just don't see that happening.
No. I mean, I get that Danny Hurley's legit. I'm not saying he's not. I just know how difficult it is to win 2 in a row. And I know one team gets hot and you're done. Basketball's a little different.
Well, what he's doing right now at UConn's pretty – I mean, it hadn't been done in a while. Washington's a real threat. I think he's talking about softball here. Yeah, they did get beat, and that's going to happen. I picked them to lose 2 games this year. That was my prediction before the year.
Yeah, that was a fluke. We know it was.
What?
Yeah, I mean, that game, look, they lost. Admit it, they lost. Yeah, they didn't play well. They're not going to lose 2 out of 3 to anyone. Take it to the bank, Jay.
Hey, the tear that Tiare Jennings is on right now is pretty sick.
Jada Coleman's right there behind her, though. Jada Coleman is doing Jada Coleman things, Jay.
Yeah, I'm saying Jada Coleman this weekend was unbelievable. But Tiare Jennings been on a heater for about a week now.
She's been on a heater, Jay. Robert, I saw your comment on our earlier video. First off, thanks for watching our content, not just the lives, but also the videos. And you're right. Hamilton, in the longevity, she endured pretty well. she endured pretty well, but you can't allow big innings like that. OU played with their food a little bit, some left some runners on. Ludlam left 4 on herself. Chuck Kearney, yeah, thank God I'm not their coach. That's correct. But hey, I am a coach, and I don't allow my athletes to get overconfident. So
how do you do that?
I talk to them every day about it, Jay. I communicate it every day. I'm much more even keel as a coach than I am on this, okay?
This is a great question right here, Monty. How many All-Americans on this OU softball team? Well,
7.
I mean Tiare, Brito, Jada, Kinsey, Maxwell.
May's not going to get it. It'll probably be just
5?
one pitcher. Probably 5. Probably 5.
I would say 5. Brito's been hot too.
Yes. Yeah, someone else said something I was going to get to. Yeah, next week it'll be someone else on a tear.
Hey, I was glad to see Kinsey stood up and play some catcher in that last inning. That was
last inning, that was good. Obviously, she'll be back against Texas. She's not missing that series. Zero
I'm so
chance.
ready for that Texas series.
I coach cross country and track, 405 boy.
There is professional softball.
I've also coached basketball at the junior high level.
There is professional softball when you talk about the like Oklahoma City Spark.
Yeah, there is. Jocelyn Olive plays for him.
Storako did too.
Storako did as well, yes. There's professional softball. Speaking of women's sports, Caitlin Clark's On3 NIL package is reported at 3.1 mil.
On3, or you mean the big 3?
I don't know. I thought it said On3 was reporting it, but I didn't read the whole story.
Big 3 with Ice Cube.
Oh, okay. 3.1 million, Jay. It's ridiculous.
Hey, I am ready for that game. I watched a lot of that women's game today, Caitlin Clark. It's fun to watch. I think she's that good of a player. When they play LSU, yeah, Big 3 is $5 million. And kudos to the Big 3. I think that's going to be a huge thing for them. Really do. She's fun to watch. And I hope they wipe the floor with LSU. I hope they wipe the floor with them. I am not an LSU women's basketball.
Hey, I have not been a massive Caitlin Clark fan. I do hope they destroy Kim Mulkey. Again, Kim Mulkey reminds me of Bill Murray from Kingpin. I don't know what it is about.
Do we need to bring up what you said about if you played them?
No, you don't need to bring that up, but whatever, Jay. you know my thoughts. But listen, hey, Caitlin Clark's best game of the year was probably today. She had like 8 assists the first half.
Oh, the one she had at the end of the first quarter was ridiculous.
If she passes the ball, they're not losing.
Well, she passes or scores on about 80 to 90% of their points. It's unbelievable.
Keelan Pressgrove, you're right.
Getting some
Go
football
win a
time.
natty the next 2 or 3 years, okay? You were 2. I was, let's see, 22 years old, Jay.
Yeah, it's time in the next 2 years with the classes they have coming in and what they had this year. They got to start. They got to make that jump, man. Have to make that jump. No ifs, ands,
Absolutely. Do you like my comparison of the Kingpin?
No. Hey, I'm not going to really get into the Kim Mulkey stuff. I haven't read enough about it. So I'll pass on that question because I just don't know enough about it, 405 boy. And I don't really care either. Mulkey's been Mulkey. I mean, do you remember when who was the guy that for the OU beat? Gosh, what was his name? Jason Kersey. Do you remember when him and Mulkey kind of came at him? Oh gosh, that's still so funny. If you haven't got a chance to check it out, Hunter, you've seen it. It's hilarious. What did she called him something, buddy? I think she called him, hey, buddy, or something like that on a press conference or something. Hey, maybe it was little buddy. I can't remember. Blake says, it's been a long time since OU won one. So, yeah, Bud or Buddy. I thought it was Little Buddy, Hunter. Little Buddy, for no reason at all. And I'm not an Angel Reese fan. I'm not an LSU fan at all. Iowa needs to beat them.
Bud or Buddy? I missed that, Jay.
I think it was Little Buddy.
Who?
When Kim Mulkey called out Jason Kersey when she was coaching at Baylor. Do you remember that?
I don't recall that exchange.
Hunter,
do not recall that, Jay.
Hunter likes LSU other than Mulkey. I'm not a fan.
You may not be a fan, but she's legit.
She can coach ball. I mean, that's a fact.
She's one of the greatest, Jay.
That's a fact.
She's one of the greatest of all time.
I mean, if you go by what she's won, but yeah.
It's a fact.
Yep. You got it. Fact.
Any news on the football front, Jay?
Hunter said Pat Summitt better. Yeah. Football front, not a whole lot today. I'm interested to see. I think you're going to start seeing some more buzz with some 25 guys and some 25 class. I do think as that's starting to come around now, spring. I do think also the spring portal after April 20th might be a little bit busy for coming into OU or leaving. I don't know. I just think there's gonna have to be some people that probably leave. I mean, to me, if you're a player, you have two times really to leave and transfer out. It's after the season or after the spring game. You kind of have a writing on. I think in most instances, you kind of have a good idea of where you're going to be stacked up after spring game. When you think that that's kind of like, okay, I kind of see where I'm falling. Either I'm going to make big strides or it's time for me to go ahead and switch it up.
Yeah, obviously. And Robert, the spring game's April 20th. Tickets are on sale. You can get your tickets.
Okay. Yeah, Monty brings up this Indiana transfer, Bleedy. We talked about this the other night, Monty. To me, yeah, Hunter says he's visiting for the spring game. I mean, that's fine. He doesn't really move the needle a ton for me. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a guy that you're going to go, whoa, huge get out of the portal, right? I think he's a guy for depth and all that, but I don't know if he's a guy that, and I just don't know enough about him either. I just, we'll see.
Ron says a loss could set this team back in the spring game. Hey, Tyler, I've said this is one of the biggest spring games in history, and I got absolutely ripped for that.
I did. I ripped you for that, yeah.
Which, whatever, I do think it is. Teresa, favorite OU player, past or present? Let me think on that, and I'll give you my answer. Deshaun's offseason is so intriguing me playing cheetah and inside linebacker. Yeah. Look, if Deshaun McCullough doesn't get on the field much this year, I'll be shocked. But
yeah,
there's a lot of dudes.
What's up, Eric? How are you tonight? Sounds like the players are gravitating towards Zach Alley's coaching style. I said it in the Discord. BB makes things overly complicated. Here, I would agree with. I think they are loving them some Zach Alley, and I also think he's so much different than Ted Roof. He's exact opposite, young. He's probably more in there as far as coaching with them. Coaches the linebackers hard without Brent Venables always being in there. And I've also heard players say, though, Zach Alley in that BV? Very similar guy.
Yeah, and listen, Eric, I absolutely agree. They're all loving Zach Alley. They're talking a lot about how relational he is, how they feel like they can go to him because he's younger. They did talk about he makes things simple. Now, I'm not going to say that to highlight the fact that BV overcomplicates things. I'm not going to say it to that extent.
Hey, Chuck, who are they comparing to Lacey?
Indiana D-line, Jay. It's the Indiana D-line they're saying.
Lacey played inside. This guy doesn't play.
Yeah, this guy's an edge rusher. Eric says McCullough and others have said he makes simple players are not. Yeah, they're not, but also they've been in the system longer.
I think he could play inside. I just don't think he has yet.
I think
Is that
Fuller
what
could
Chuck-
play a little inside.
Chuck, are you saying that they're comparing him to Lacey as the fact that he can play inside and that's what they want him to do? Is that kind of what you're saying?
No, I agree. Deshaun McCullough has moved inside linebacker some. Yes, agreed. And Kendall Dolby seems to have really caught on the system in year one. So maybe it depends on the player because Kendall Dolby was just playing last year.
So
brand new to the system out of JUCO.
Ricky's saying he plays inside. I thought he played edge at Indiana. He might play inside at Oklahoma. I just thought he played more edge at Indiana.
Is he bigger than Lacey?
He's a
weight-wise?
pretty big guy, Jeremy. He's a pretty big guy.
I was thinking he was 280, Jay.
Well, if people are comparing him to Lacey and they think he'd be an equal pickup,
it'd be a reserve role. Yeah, that'd be good.
I mean, Lacey made some big plays for OU last year. He played edge. He's 295, Bobby says. That's why I thought. I mean, you could play him inside at 295.
Yeah, that's big enough to play inside. Would
It's
he
just
come here
how
and start?
much would he play inside?
Would he come here and start? I don't think so, but that would be a valuable piece to get with the loss of Lacey, yes.
I will say the teams that are after him are big-time teams. So
They are.
Positive about it. I think here's my thing, guys. Here's my things about it. And Eric, we talked a little bit about this last night, I think, but I am not – it's hard for me to get really pumped on portal guys until they land a lot that are really good. Now, you can go back last year, and Andrew Anthony was really good out of the portal. Really good player. Who else out of the portal has been just amazing out of the portal for Oklahoma? Eric Gray was a pretty good portal get.
Gabriel was good.
Some of the offense, Dylan Gabriel, you're right.
Hey, Jay.
But I'm talking more defensively. Defensively, they haven't really had.
Hunter, for one, so I agree with that. The D-line wasn't great last year. But listen, also, Deshaun McCullough, when he was at Indiana, was a freshman all-conference and actually had way better stats than when he came to OU. So there's that, too. I guess they're just better at Indiana. Second of all, Jay, Winfrey was really good as far as a transfer out of the portal. Someone I wanted to get to something really quickly. Blake says they need a guy that can stuff the SEC rush. It was interesting, DeJoun Terry's comments. DeJoun Terry basically said, I'm tired of being called a run stopper. I want to be a dominant force, not just a run stopper. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and hey, it'd be great to get a pass rush up the middle, wouldn't it? That'd be amazing. Bobby says he genuinely thinks they wait on Dominic Williams to hit the portal. Here's the thing. This is what's so difficult about this portal is you don't know who's going to be in the portal when you take certain guys. Like if you take this guy and you get him, well, what does that do if somebody else down the road? You know what I mean?
Hey, Chuck, Jay likes to flip and flop, okay?
Wait, you were pumped on the guy that went to Ole Miss out of the portal. Well, because are you talking Walter Nolan was the highest rated defensive lineman in the portal? That's different. This guy's not the number one defensive lineman in the portal. How's that? That's why I was pumped for that guy. I was wanting him. I thought he was really good.
He was the number one portal guy.
I mean, yeah.
Okie guy. Yes, we're live. Every night, 9:30. Every time we're on here past 9:30, it's a live show. I got my puka shell necklace. Okay, we're live.
Heard one of the tight ends is like Mark Andrews, big guy. Probably thinking Bauer Sharp. Bauer Sharp, I could kind of see that comparison. Couldn't you?
Absolutely, Jay. Absolutely that comparison. Bauer Sharp is a
he's
dude,
not as
okay?
He's not as big as Mark.
All speculation, though.
Correct. Mars says he could.
Does it not? Hey, time out. Time out, Mars. Because I'm always aggressive, Okie Lawn guy. He can ask if you're live. Yeah, he can. I just thought it says live on your screen, does it? Says live on my screen. Does the viewer channel say live, Jay?
But I think that is, if you go watch it after it's live, it might still say live. I don't know. I just get on here and do the live. I don't know.
Well, this is what I do know.
Now,
every night we're live.
Robert's right. Unless you watch it a day later, the chat will stop and you'll know it's not live. There you go. Now, I would agree, Gray God, from what I've heard and what I've seen, Bauer Sharp, he could be the best portal guy they got this year, Jeremy.
Yes, I'm not.
Bobby says Ivan Carrion was getting the Mark Andrews comparisons. I think Ivan Carrion's way more athletic than Mark Andrews, isn't he? I may be wrong. I thought he was kind of a freak athlete, too. And I'm not saying that Mark Andrews isn't athletic. I'm just saying I thought this guy was kind of a tight end wide receiver combo.
Yeah, and look, the thing about Bauer Sharp that intrigues me more than anything is his ability to do a lot of things. I think he's going to block well. I think he can run the ball. He could be an H-back. He could get the ball to the backfield. I don't know if they're going to use him there. He's got good hands. He's big. A lot of things. And listen, sorry for being so aggressive, Okie Lawn guy. I just thought it because you asked 3 or 4 times. So that's why I said that.
Yes, that's right, Tyler. Height, but not mass. Move him around like Andrews. Yeah, I mean, at that size, Bobby, I would love to see it.
Sharp is 250. I think he's at around 252, actually. Hunter will drop the weight in here. I'm pretty sure he's about 251 or 252 exact, but I don't know the exact weight, but I would guess that. Sharp looks sharp. I mean, that's the only way to say it. He's sharp.
He looks like, and I don't know what it is. Maybe this is a weird statement. I don't know, Jeremy, but there's something about football players that when they wear the jersey halfway up, you know what I'm talking about? It's the half jersey. They just look tougher to me. Is that only me that makes it? When I see a football player got the cutoff shirt halfway up, showing the abs, showing the stomach, I just think they look like tougher dudes out there. And from the videos I saw, that's what Bauer Sharp was wearing. So I don't know. May just be me. May just be me, guys. Hit the like. That's right, Teresa. Hit the like. Appreciate it, Teresa. Gray Guy says, looks like more athletic Bell in the number 10. I agree. Does look more athletic than Blake Bell. Blake Bell was good, though. So now they're coming at me saying that's weird. Come on, guys. Am I the only one that thinks that? Jeez, there's got to be somebody else that thinks that. Got to be. In this whole chat, all you people in here, somebody else has got to think that. I like it.
Think what, Jay?
I'm getting, people are laughing at me now because I said that for me, football players that wear the half shirts, they just look tougher.
That's just a looks thing, Jay.
You don't like it?
Like, I never think of it. Well, what about the guys who wear the neck thing up here? Linebackers.
Oh, I like that too. That looks
Mike
tough.
Allstott. Mike Allstott
was legit with that thing. For sure. Yeah, I did, Chuck. Fair. Point taken.
Old school mesh practice.
Oh, the old school mesh practice jersey. Oh, yeah. Hey,
Steven says it appears like
they're going to be much improved and they're going to be used way more. I think it's a combo of both.
And are you saying that because of Latrell's offense?
Yes.
Or is it also a combo of other things? I mean, I think we are going to see more tight ends used.
Yeah.
Stogner was really used and block. Stogner was, and look, Caden Helms.
I'm rooting for him too, man.
He's got the size, Jay.
He does. It's just, man, and here's the bad thing, I would say, and kind of unfortunate probably for Caden Helms is the year he's getting healthy is probably the deepest they've been at tight end. When you got Devon Mitchell and Bauer Sharp and Jake Roberts, you know?
They got legitimate 4 guys.
Whereas last year, Gray God says that you have Blake Smith. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's what sucks for him.
And people aren't talking about Cade McIntyre. That's 5. I mean, that's
Tearaway jersey. Gary wants a tearaway jersey.
That's really look. It's not an opinion to say that the tight end room is light years better than last year.
What is the? I'm not going to say deepest here, and everybody in this chat want to hear your answer. What is the best position group at Oklahoma this year? Right now on March 30th.
Oh, that's
I'm
too
not
hard.
saying in the fall. I'm saying right now. What would you say? Best position group at OU right now?
It's secondary receiver, Jay.
I think it's wide receiver or tight end. I think
secondary receiver.
Greg agrees. Wide receiver, safety, close second.
Damon says running back.
Damon says running back. Eric says wide receiver. Teresa, wide receiver. Ricky says safety. Yeah. Yeah, Emmett Jones doing a great job. Here's the thing with Emmett Jones is how is he going to make all them happy? And let me say this. I heard another video I was watching. I can't remember what it was. Talking about J.J. Hester running a 6'3", running like a 4'4". Guy, if that's true.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What happened?
What do you mean?
I couldn't hear anything. It was all blinking.
I don't know. I was just saying I heard on another video I was watching about J.J. Hester, 6'2", 6'3", running a 4'4".
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
What?
What about J.J. Hester?
I heard on another video I was watching somebody saying he was 6'2", runs a 4'4". I'm like,
yes, I saw that.
He's not going to be there anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't see Hester in the mix, Jay. Like, I don't see any chance he plays unless he's going to go on special teams.
That was my point, is I don't think he's going to play. And if he's got that kind of speed, who knows? But if he does, he probably needs to go somewhere he's going to play for his sake. I mean, I'm all for guys hitting the portal. I mean, they can do whatever they want. If they want to hit the portal and go play somewhere, man, go do it, man. I mean, this room is deep. I mean, if you're sitting 7 or 8 in this room, either one, you love OU, or two, don't think you're going to play anywhere, right?
Yeah, and I like what Eric says, 4.4 your way right up into the portal. Yeah, I actually agree with you, Eric. Jay, is everyone able to hear okay? Is everything good?
Yeah, you're just I don't know what you're doing, but yeah, we're all good.
What do you mean what I'm doing?
You keep saying stuff's happening. I don't know.
Oh, everything was spinning on my screen. So, and then Hunter asked what's going on. So I was curious. Hester is a backup. That is correct. And I'm not going to look, David Stone is going to be elite, but he's going to use the swim tackle. I think with that. Yeah, Hester is a Oklahoma guy.
Booker T. Washington. Whatever happened to the other Booker T. Washington guy that was going to go to OU, ended up at A&M? You know who I'm talking about?
I cannot think of his name. Give me a second. I will, but someone will beat me to it, I'm sure.
Not good, Hunter. Is he still playing football, though, or is he not? Oh, got arrested. What was his name, though? Gosh, I cannot remember it.
Cannot remember it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Shouldn't have brought it up. I can't remember it. Hey, let's get to some trivia tonight. Before we get to, yeah, there it is, Teague. Thanks, Bobby. That's it. Micah Teague. Hey, before we get to trivia, go check out the FanStop. FanStop Tees, Micah Tees. Man, fanstop.com. Use code SURGE. You'll get 10% off your first 3 months of the Shirt of the Month Club. Go be a part of it. Also, they just donated over $3,000 to the Toby Keith Foundation. Just a great thing that FanStop did with the red Solo Cup shirt. You can still buy that as well. Go check it out, fanstop.com. Here we go. Trivia tonight. We're going OU softball. And here's what I want to know. How many straight games have they hit 2 or more home runs? How many straight games has Oklahoma softball hit 2 or more home runs? Here we go. We only got 2 days left in the chat. for trivia. So, how many consecutive games has OU softball hit at least 2 home runs? Not 24. There it is right there. Damon, 8. 8 straight games. That's a great streak that they're on, man. Unbelievable streak. Good job, Damon. Way to go. 75, Tyler says. Wow. Good job, Damon. Braden, you got it. Just a little late, bro. Just a little late. Damon's a winner tonight. I was wanting to get to something that somebody said. Oh, Anthony says that the best portal get Deion Burks. Deion Burks is turning heads, obviously. And I do think he'll get enough playing time to make a big difference. So that could be, Anthony, you might be exactly right that he's the best portal guy. I think right now, offensively, I would say there's 2 guys you look at. Probably the majority of people would say Bauer Sharp or Deion Burks. Offensively out of the portal, right?
And I actually disagree with. I think Burks was needed, and I mean, it depends. How good is Pettaway going to be? I think Pettaway is going to be really good, but I guess I can't really say he was needed until I see how he does first. So I would be prematurely saying that.
What's up, Matt?
Says, I think the fact true freshman D-line guys are turning heads is very telling. Correct.
What's up, Matt? How are you tonight? Yeah, I think the fact that true freshman D-lines are turning heads is very telling. Telling as in, 1, OU's defensive line young guys are really, really good, which they were highly recruited, or 2, the offensive line isn't as good as we think it can be or will be. I don't know. I think it's inexperienced, and I think the OU defensive line, even though they're freshmen, are already ready to play. That's what I think. They are ready to play as freshmen. I think most of them.
Greg God says Brennan Thompson could have turned into Jackson Arnold slot go-to. Actually, I think it would have been Pettaway over Brennan Thompson. I think Pettaway is more of the slot guy. Monty says watch for Franklin. And look.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I've seen some highlights. He does look good, guys. It's just that's a deep room too, especially if Barnes is healthy.
Here's the thing on Barnes. He might be healthy, but will he stay healthy with that? I hope he does, because I hate to see somebody injured and it just derails their career.
What is Franklin's size? I think he's the biggest of those guys. If you got 4 guys, if you got Sawchuk, Barnes, Hicks, and Franklin, I think he's the biggest. So if they do go like a fullback type, maybe he could be that.
Hey, right. Put in the chat. You mentioned the 4 guys: Sawchuk, Barnes, Hicks, Franklin. Give me your top 4. Give me your 4 in order of what you think it is.
Well, I think it's Sawchuk. I think Hicks should be 2, Barnes 3,
Franklin 4.
I can't really judge Barnes yet because I haven't seen enough overall of him, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe Barnes could be that guy. Fullback. Barnes is taller.
Hicks is very electric. Dalpo says Sawchuk, Barnes, Hicks, Franklin. Graygod, Sawchuk, Hicks, Franklin, Xavier. He doesn't have Barnes in there at all. Bobby, Sawchuk, Barnes, Hicks, Franklin. Here's what I would ask everybody is, if everybody last year at this time, Jeremy, if we were doing a live show at this time last year, we weren't, but if we were, all we would have heard was Sawchuk, Barnes, Sawchuk, Barnes, Sawchuk, Barnes, right? So why is it not Sawchuk, Barnes this year? I mean, if he's healthy, wouldn't that be the 2?
Well, it's Sawchuk, but it's not Barnes, because I think people are excited about Hicks.
I do too.
And I think Franklin, the transfer, people are getting excited about. I am sold on Sawchuk. There's a lot of people who don't like Sawchuk. I don't know why. I don't know what the what the selling point needs to be, but you look at his last 6 or 7 games when they actually went with him all the time, he was really, really good.
Yeah. You said Hicks 5'11", 216, Hunter. Drop Barnes is in there. I want to see the difference.
Barnes is 6'1", Jay, at least.
That's true, Dalpo.
Barnes is probably 6'1", 212, 215.
you're 6'6", 207. So Hicks weighs more than Barnes.
Yes.
1,000-yard rusher by committee. Will they get there? Roscoe, that's a great point. Will they get there this year? 1,000 yards.
What they got it last year.
What'd they end up with last year? Not counting quarterback. Not counting quarterback.
Jay, Salchuk had 700 or 800.
Okay, I'm saying not.
Walker probably had 600.
Can they get 1,000-yard back though?
Well, it depends on if they want to go with one back. But 1,000 by committee is not great.
Did Salchuk have over 1,000 last year?
The last 6 games, he was well over 100. I thought he was around 800 and something on the year.
I know he turned it on, but I don't know if he got it with 1,000. Yeah,
I was close.
764.
And Jay, SEC is different though. Okay.
I agree.
I didn't say it wasn't.
Hey, what's up, Terrace? Hope I said the name right. Andy Bass is a steal. Andy Bass is an unbelievable steal. The guy could have went to many schools on scholarship, full rides, and decides to go on a PWO for Oklahoma. Once he gets healthy, I think he's a guy that he'll make an impact somewhere, whatever it is. He'll make an impact.
Hey, it was Marcus Major probably had 200. Okay, it was 319. So the team together at running backs had about 1,600 yards last year, and people bashed the O-line.
Yeah, 2025, Greg. You're right. You're right. I don't know.
Kennedy Brooks
is probably the last one. That's right. This year's backs are even better. People forget Tatum, the #1 high school running back. I agree. My only thing about Tatum is he's not there yet, and I don't know how much he plays year one. I just don't. I know he's a 5-star, but I think he'll get some run. I just don't think he's going to have enough playing time to. And I may be wrong.
Yeah. Hey, if you go, Jay, you go Ramondre Stevenson, Kennedy Brooks, Eric Gray all had over 1,000. Did they not?
Did Eric Gray have over 1,000? His senior year. I thought
he had 2 of his last year.
1383. There it is. Boom. So it hasn't been a hot minute. Yeah, what happened to the baseball team? They got drilled 3 games by Lamar. Lamar's hot, but OU had a bad weekend, specifically pitching-wise.
Gray was really good at what he did.
You thought Gray was awful.
Let me talk.
But
Gray was –
wait.
Dolly, I don't even want to talk.
Listen, you thought Marcus Major was better than Gray. So you're free to talk, Jeremy, if you'd like to.
Gray was really good at what he could do. What I always was critical of
this. Gray was really good. Period. Can you say that?
He had a weakness, Jay.
Can you say Gray was really good, period?
Gray was really good, yes. He had a weakness.
Oh, so you can't. You can't.
No, and I think a lot of viewers would agree with me, Jay. Eric Gray was not a home run threat. Didn't like that about him.
Okay, that's fine. I agree with that.
That was my issue. That was my only issue with Eric Gray ever. Not a home run threat guy.
But you think Marcus Major was?
Marcus Major last year was better than anyone on here thought he would be, okay?
Last year, he didn't play much.
And when he did, he was better than people thought. I don't know why we're talking about Marcus Major.
Hey, because that was usually the comparison with Gray. Hey, Hunter, Bama won. Here's the thing. Right now, is that the 2 best coaches in college basketball right now?
Hey.
Danny Hurley and Nate Oates.
That's what I said on the Discord earlier. For the people that are saying Marcus Major was junk and doo-doo and stuff, you cannot say that and say Jalil Farouk's awesome. Eric, mainly I'm talking to you.
Hey, Major, listen. Major would have been a really good running back, in my opinion, if he
was injured all the time.
He was always injured.
His average yards per carry were the same as those other guys pretty much. He didn't fumble the ball ever.
Best duo running back in Oklahoma.
Was a great blocker. Was a great pickup on blitzes.
Yeah, it's a bad comeback. Hey, best
Really? How's it a bad comeback?
best duo running back at Oklahoma. Mixon, Pirine,
Absolutely.
Gerald Moore.
Right.
Gerald Moore, James Allen was pretty good. They just sucked.
That was a good one. That was a good one, Jay. Wasn't even close to Pirine and Mixon.
I think Pirine and Mixon, you can't beat it.
Who played with Ramondre that one year?
Well, they didn't get enough carries to call him a duo, in my opinion.
Alan Patrick.
Well, that's just because anybody you put with.
Now, there's the other one. Yeah, Hunter's right. Rodney Anderson and Trey Sermon.
Yeah,
really
that was good. That was good.
Hey, Eric, I can name you plenty of Marcus Major plays. Okay? I can name you about as many Marcus Major plays as I can Jalil Farouk plays.
Why are we comparing those two guys? I don't get it. It's baffling to me, dude. Why are we?
I never have said Marcus Major was elite. I don't know what it was brought up for.
Hey, you're not wrong, Bobby. That might have been. I mean, those three guys, they were unbelievable.
I can't name a game when Marcus Major played the whole game, Jay. Can you? He didn't get many opportunities.
All right, let's get off. That's my fault. I apologize. I should not have.
It absolutely is your fault.
I brought.
I didn't bring it up, Eric. I didn't bring it up, bud. I know better.
I brought it up because of the Eric Gray thing. My bad. I won't bring it up again.
Jay has these guys that he knows. He thinks that I favor over other ones, and he thinks I hate Eric Gray.
Because
when Eric Gray was elite here, he just didn't have the home run hit.
Jeez, golly.
Yeah, Marcus Major barely played for OU. It's weird.
I think he could have been an outstanding player to OU. I just don't think he got the chance.
He had the size. He had some definitely had some cutting ability. Did trip up a lot. Great blocker.
Hey,
last year was really good when he played.
Hey, Roscoe, I hope you're 1,000% right. I would love nothing.
Marcus Major may be 1,000-yard rusher. I'm going to say it right now. He will be.
For him to go down.
I think he'll dominate at Minnesota.
I hope he does.
I know talent when I see it, Jay.
Do you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Hunter says if healthy, absolutely. So I guess he's not doo-doo and junk like people think maybe. Yeah, I'll be at church tomorrow. I was at church on Good Friday, and I'll be there tomorrow. Absolutely.
Same for me. Okie Long.
I'm there every Sunday.
Okie Long guy says haven't had an elite running back since Joe Mixon.
I
disagree.
think Kenny Brooks was elite.
Well, it depends on what you define elite. That's
again, it does, Jay. It does.
I mean, are you talking a top 2-round draft pick? We haven't.
No. Joe Mixon was different. Joe Mixon was different.
You know what?
Joe Mixon. Who?
DeMarco Murray and Chris Brown with him?
Yeah, Chris Brown was good. He was underrated. Jimmy.
Oh, there it is. Jimmy just mentioned it. Yeah, I was just thinking that, Jimmy.
It depends on what you say elite is. Are we talking you got to be a first-round draft pick? If so,
Eric,
Kennedy Brooks, I guess, wasn't.
I agree, though. Kennedy Brooks was good, not elite. Because I think elite is the best of the best. So Okie Long guy's probably right. It's been since Joe Mixon.
Major, are you saying Major got beat out at Minnesota, Matt? You following Minnesota football? I don't. See, when a guy leaves OU, I don't really follow him.
Hey, Hunter.
That was to Hunter.
Hey, Hunter. I totally respect the stat you dropped in there, but I totally disagree. I don't think stats matter at all on elite players. Just like we can argue Dylan Gabriel, he could go down as one of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time. That doesn't mean he's elite. Going to be a first-round draft pick, right? No, it doesn't, Hunter. Hunter, stats are skewed, man. Stats are, you can't just say, oh, he rushed for 1,000 yards.
The reason that stat is kind of pointless is if Mixon would have played at OU 4 years and been the starter, he would have too. I mean, Roy Finch and Brennan Clay. And I agree.
I'm not talking about Roy Finch and Brennan. Hey, Eric says we don't need to define elite. You know,
I agree. The eye test, Mixon
eye
passed it.
test. You're right, Eric.
I don't think P Ryan was elite then. Hey, here's what I'll say.
Oh,
if
P
you
Ryan
think,
was P Ryan.
if you think Kennedy Brooks wasn't elite, you cannot say P Ryan was.
Dude, P Ryan would just maul people, man.
He was not elite. If Kennedy Brooks,
probably not elite, but really good.
no, I'm saying you can't say Kennedy Brooks was not elite and in the same breath say that P Ryan was elite. No,
Matt
hey,
disagrees.
I think P Ryan was elite, but I'm going to say Kennedy Brooks was too. I'm not going to sit there and say.
I don't know if you can say P Ryan was elite. I mean, elite is top of the top, man.
Hunter, it has to do with how many carries you get too, bud.
Why did it say false? Mixon wasn't close to it because he caught balls for 1,000. I mean, I'm sorry, Hunter. If you can admit that stats are skewed, I got a problem.
Hunter, just drop it in the chat. Do you think Kennedy Brooks was better than Joe Mixon? Go ahead and put it in the chat.
Hey,
no
who's a better quarterback? Dylan Gabriel or Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield by far.
Well, I bet Gabriel's got way more yardage for his career in college football. Does that mean he's better? No.
What did Matt say about P. Ryan being elite?
Hunter, do you think Brooks was better than Mixon?
Hunter, drop it in.
If Hunter says Brooks is better than Mixon, I may leave this call right. I may leave it.
Well, we're already past time. I'll get off it. There's no way he thinks Kennedy Brooks was better than Mixon or AD. Not a chance.
Hunter, please don't say yes to that. That would be unbelievable. It's very silent, Hunter. We need an answer before we end
again.
But he wouldn't have been drafted.
But yes, and Tommy Chang is the leading passer in NCAA history. And I love Kennedy Brooks. I think Kennedy Brooks was elite. I would define him as that. And if I said that, I would put P. Ryan as elite. But if I'm going to be one on here that says Kennedy Brooks is not elite, I don't think you put P. Ryan.
I would go with Greg and Eric. I think AD and Joe Mixon, because when I think of elite, I think of guys that are going to next level and are going to be really good and drafted high. And
they're above the others, yes.
Yes.
They're above the others.
Correct.
They're above the others. Absolutely.
Got off on a little tangent tonight, but it's all right.
P. Ryan was definitely a bruiser and great. And yeah, Rodney Anderson, ifs. That dude was maybe the most fun to watch of all of them. Actually, Mixon was, but Rodney Anderson would have been. And look, elite does need to be defined in some ways. So, hey.
Elite, look up elite right now in the dictionary. It tells you what it means.
You can't just take the denotation of a word, Jay.
Yeah, Case Keenum, exactly, Bobby. Exactly.
Hey, appreciate everyone tonight. It's been a great Saturday night.
DeMarco was the lead.
Hunter says connotation, Jay. You don't know what that is, but I do.
All right.
Thanks for being on, everybody. Tomorrow, enjoy Easter. That's what I'll be doing, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow night, same time, Okie Lawn Guy. Guess what? Tomorrow night at 9:30, I'll be live with the puka shell necklace. You don't want to miss it. Hop on. We'll see you all. Boomer.
Sooner.